Inside a church in Budapest, a lady is about to exchange a crypto wallet for a certain amount when the buyer insists on checking the authenticity of the wallet before sending her the agreed amount, but the lady insists that wasn't the initial statement before bringing the wallet. When she notices that the buyer is actually a con, she attacks him with a slate and runs away. She is immediately chased by the buyer's henchmen across the streets. Fortunately, she manages to escape the men and enters a bar. Inside, a man identifies her and quickly ends her life to take the crypto wallet. Meanwhile, at the US President's building in Washington, the president is currently mad at her 18-year-old daughter, who is really good with computers but ends up breaching the White House security system to go out to party. As a result, the president confiscates all her devices. In a press conference, the president announces that there will be a global gathering of the 20 richest countries on Earth in South Africa to solve the hunger crisis globally. To tackle this, they will provide a digital currency to help local farmers gain easy access to products and ease the stress since most of them don't have access to banking systems like in the US. When the press begins to ask questions, one of them asks the president how they can trust her with the security of the country if her daughter was able to hack into the system and sneak out of the White House without being noticed. After hearing this, President Danielle simply leaves the podium. During dinner with her family, Danielle tells her kids, Serena and Demetrius, that they will be joining her to go to South Africa for the presidential summit. Her daughter, Serena, protests against it, saying she's always trying to make herself look good. Meanwhile, it's already all over the news that Serena was out partying, and the TV host makes a comment backlashing the president. The husband has to turn off the TV and encourages her not to be so hard on herself, as Serena is just a teenager and is only exploring her youth. Later, the president opens her knee to show a nasty injury that she sustained during her time in the army. On their way to the G20 summit, the president and her Secretary of Treasury, Joanna, discuss how to convince most of the other countries of the benefits of using the digital currency to ease trade among farmers. Joanna reminds her that most of these men would likely never agree with her, and Danielle has to remind her that 100 years ago, both of them were never allowed to vote, yet here they are. Moments later, a call from the vice president and the CIA director comes in for a security briefing. They report that they've assembled some special US security teams that will secure the G20 summit venue, making it a fortress. Although she's skeptical about having private security contractors, the men assure her that she's in good hands and has nothing to worry about. Somewhere else in the mountains of South Africa, Rutledge and his men arrive in a helicopter to meet with one of his comrades from their time serving in the army. Minutes later, the president and her team finally arrive at the Grand Diamond, a special hotel prepared for the G20 summit, along with various high security teams to ensure that the event goes as planned. It turns out that Rutledge, with the help of a security agent, was able to infiltrate the event. This special team is known as the Paxton Special Forces. The special security assigned to the president, known as Manny, performs a routine search around the ballroom to check for any threats. After he instructs some of his team to wait in a special room, the president alongside her husband Derek accompanies her to the ballroom. Afterwards, Joanna briefly takes a moment to introduce Danielle to some of the presidents of the most powerful countries and some influential personalities, including the new head of the International Monetary Fund, a woman considered to be the most powerful after the US president known as Elena. Meanwhile, Eddie from his corner starts directing his men on the next move as they begin to separate the important people in the room from their security and the press. After making sure that they are separated and that the doors only open with their key cards, and disconnecting the Cape Town Wi-Fi towers, a man pretending to serve food, who is also one of Rutledge's men, quickly puts on a gas mask as they enter the elevator. The gas is quickly released and outside the building a special squad arrives and surrounds the exit perimeter, ensuring that no one comes in or out. Eddie then activates a code that triggers a briefcase hidden in a compartment in the room of the US Special Forces, which quickly detonates, obliterating all the men. The explosion can be heard all over the hotel, and the security team spring into action, but none of their key cards work. Soon they suffocate and lose consciousness from the gas leak from earlier. Derek wants to go and grab his kids, but the security tries to stop him and he insists on getting his kids first. The president tries to rush and get her family, but Special Agent Manny stops her, insisting that her safety is a top priority and that she's safe with him. After making sure that everything is going according to plan, Eddie turns around and kills his partner, revealing that he's the one overseeing the attack on the world leaders. Minutes later, a special security force enters the ballroom, and for a moment everyone is relieved that they're safe until one of the men from the special force shoots a security guard protecting the president of Russia. Seeing this, everyone runs for cover as a shootout breaks out between the president's personal security and the special forces. Using the distraction, Danielle and the Prime Minister of the UK, Everett, run to hide. Danielle grabs a fire extinguisher, and Manny has to shoot it so they can save the others following them to escape the ballroom. In the kids' room, they rush to hide when they hear someone approaching the door, but they're seen and held at gunpoint. Derek enters the room, and the security guard is killed. Demetrius pushes the bad guy, giving Derek the chance to quickly overpower the man and kill him. Back with the president, Manny is still looking for a way out and sees that their only escape route is through the kitchen. However, Eddie's men are still there. As they argue about what to do next, the Korean First Lady, Han Ming-seo, finds an opening in the wall beside them and goes through it. Seeing this, the remaining members soon join her, and they land safely in a laundry room. Soon after, Eddie enters the ballroom as his team of special forces applauds his progress. One of them reports that the President of the US and the UK Prime Minister are missing. He tells one of his accomplices to take 2 men and find them immediately. Down in the laundry room, everyone makes a quick formal introduction, with Danielle thanking the Korean First Lady for her quick resolution to the current problem. Manny prepares them for the evacuation routes, but Agent Manny points out that Eddie's men might also have occupied the same route since they've blocked all the exits and thinks this might be an inside job. Prime Minister Everett tells Danielle that she should look for a way to call the Pentagon or a rescue team, and she explains that it will take too long for them to arrive. So, the only solution is to go underground and make it to the Beast, a special military vehicle disguised as a normal car used to carry the US president. Meanwhile, Serena is tying a rope to the balcony so they can escape. Soon a knock is heard at the door, and it's one of the security guards pretending to be room service. The family has to quickly climb around the balcony of the building to make it to the other side without being. Eddie makes a live broadcast stating that they are not terrorists, rather they are individuals tired of the government stripping away their human rights and the wealth of the citizens. He announces that in few minutes, he will release a video of the deceit and fraudulent activities of the government. He further explains that the President of the US will soon release a currency that will dictate where, when and how every citizen spends their money. His advice to everyone is to invest in the cryptocurrency that he will announce very soon. He warns the American Special Forces and the military across the world that if they try to stop him or come anywhere close to the G20 summit, he will execute every world leader present, including the US President. He then goes ahead to call on each world leader to step forward onto a camera and recite some written words. He then calls out to the South Korean president first, who quickly notices that the words are a pangram. With this, they can create a deepfake AI that would make it appear as if they are saying anything according to how Eddie wants it. The South Korean president refuses to recite the words, which causes Rutledge to cut off his ear as a warning to anyone who doesn't comply. With this, the world leaders come out one after the other to recite the words. Soon a video of the German secretary announcing that the new currency will be used to track the movement of every individual reaches the Pentagon. They quickly realize what is going on, with several videos like it popping up all over the media, sharing false information. Following this, people begin to panic as they withdraw their local currency to invest in cryptocurrency, causing a major economic crisis all over the globe while the Bitcoin price in their wallets keeps increasing. Back with the president, since they need to make it to the underground, the elevator isn't working, and it seems like Rutledge's men are soon approaching. She finds an opening on the roof of the elevator, and one by one, they manage to make it to the top and immediately closes the patch before they could see them. As the group makes it to the elevator and begins to descend, the Prime Minister's hand hits an iron, causing him to scream in pain. This noise causes the men to stop the elevator and listen for any movement. Danielle quickly jumps on the men and attacks them. With Manny's help, they manage to shoot one, but the others hold the president and her agent in a chokehold. The remaining henchman uses a rope to restrain the one holding the president, allowing her to grab a gun and kill him. She also kills the one fighting Manny. As they make it to the underground, Danielle finds some of the hotel staffs held hostages and wants to help. Agent Manny insists that they need to make it to the Beast because her safety is the top priority, but the president insists on saving the hostages. She goes back and grabs a knife, throwing it at one of the men to distract them. Manny manages to tackle one of the bad guys to the ground, electrocuting him to death. Danielle, on the other hand, is able to knock out the second guy with a pan. Unfortunately, he wakes up seconds later, and as he tries to shoot the president, Manny jumps in immediately to take the bullet while one of the hotel staff throws a knife, killing the bad guy. Seeing the fighting skills of the hotel workers, Danielle begs for their help to find her family and ensure they're safe. Derek takes the kids to the roof of the building, thinking of how to help the situation. They try to call the outside world, but there's no network, realizing that the terrorists somehow were able to broadcast their message. Serena proposes that she can take some of their cable components and maybe hook up a remote network. Using her computer skills, she's able to create a secure server that she can use to send a message to the Pentagon. But soon, They are found and Derek has to stand in their way to buy the kids some time to hide. As they look around, they don't see the kids hanging on the side of the building, so they only take Derek with them. Inside the Pentagon, the vice president receives an email that Serena was able to send, telling them that the president is safe for now and that one of their agents is behind the attack on the world leaders. On the news, the US military and other countries' forces begin to send out their troops to rescue the world leaders at the G20 summit. To spice things up, Rutledge shoots the Australian Prime Minister dead, and the Korean president tries to fight back but gets slashed and killed by Rutledge. Back with the president, the Prime Minister of the UK is impressed by how she's been handling the situation so far, and she shares a story of how she survived the war and became a hero by saving a child who lost his mother during a crossfire. They finally make it to the Beast after killing the security and taking out the cameras. They are about to leave when a call from Rutledge comes in, threatening her that if she doesn't make her way back to the ballroom, he will kill her husband. After telling them this, she instructs the others to go without her. Manny wakes up later and starts looking for the president. Not seeing her, he opens the car door and jumps out. The kids are still looking for a way out when they are cornered by one of Rutledge's men. Fortunately, the hotel workers come in just in time to quickly take on the bad guy and take him out. Danielle writes a note for her kids expressing her love for them when one of the US agent shows up to take the president. She's shocked that he's siding with the terrorists. Minutes later, the Beast returns, and as the agent holds the president at gunpoint, Manny quickly disarms him and slashes his throat, killing him while the car brakes at the last minute. Serena is able to contact her mom, thanks to the radio from the hotel staff. After apologizing to each other, Danielle tells her kids to find a way to leave the hotel, and Serena says she can help by hacking the key cards so the local armed forces can find a way to infiltrate the building without Rutledge noticing. With this, the president instructs the other world leaders to drive out of the building, and the Beast can keep them safe, while the Korean First Lady insists on finding her husband. Seeing the presidential vehicle leaving the building, the team is immediately alerted, and a barrage of gunfire is unleashed on the Beast. However, it manages to drive through the road without a scratch. Happy that they've made it out, Rutledge instructs his men to use a rocket launcher on them. The first missile is launched, but it only manages to hit the side of the vehicle. The men protecting the gate perimeter immediately open fire to try and stop the Beast. As they're about to make it, Rutledge instructs his men to fire the remaining missile. With this, the missile is launched and hits the car, causing it to flip multiple times in the air before landing on its four wheels. The hotel staff is able to find a rocket launcher hidden in one of the hotel compartments and launches it at Rutledge and his men. The UK Prime Minister is able to send a message to the US officials telling them to assemble a small strike team to enter through a back door, and Serena would create an opening for them to rescue the other world leaders. Danielle has to carry Manny on her shoulders to the control room so he can toggle the lights and help her move across the hotel rooms. Once inside the main room, Manny cuts the lights out, giving Danielle the upper hand as she easily takes out the men with an explosion followed by some skillful tactical shooting. After killing the men, a huge guy comes out of the elevator, and she realizes she has run out of bullets. Now she has to fight hand to hand. At first, the huge guy gets the upper hand, but Danielle manages to use her gun to hold him in a chokehold until he's dead. She calls Manny to turn back the lights, and for a few seconds, she thinks he's dead before the lights come back on. Meanwhile, a group of local special forces is already making their way into the building. Serena and the others make it to the computer room to take out the guards there so she can help unlock the back doors for the special forces. Looking through the camera, she sees a bad guy trying to sneak up on the president and she knocks him out, making herself look cool in front of her kids. The scene then shifts to the special forces entering the ballroom and taking out Rutledge's men in a gunfire exchange, only to find out that the US president isn't there. Frustrated that his group isn't making progress and hasn't found the president yet, Rutledge takes Derek and the Secretary of Treasury to the conference room. Danielle makes it to the room, and Rutledge forces her to read the pangram if she wants to keep her husband alive. Left with no choice, she reads out the words, and her voice and face are quickly used with the AI to send out false information on the media, crashing the US economy and tripling the cryptocurrency, making Rutledge and his men billionaires. Danielle tells him that people would never believe the video, and Rutledge laughs, saying it doesn't matter now, explaining he knows her very well. He reminds her that he was there during the incident in the war at Fallujah. He was in the front caravan clearing the bombs when an explosion meant for the US team took out two of his brothers. For her, she saved a kid that suffered from the explosion she created, and now everyone sees her as a hero, but to him, she's a fraud. He vows to show the world how fake she and her propaganda are. Danielle couldn't stand it anymore and fires back, saying he will never get out of this situation alive. With this, Rutledge pulls out a gun and shoots Derek. Danielle immediately tackles him, and they begin to fight. Danielle manages to knock away the crypto wallet from him, which falls close to Joanna, and she picks it up. Rutledge is able to win the combat and prepares to kill the president, only for Han Ming Seo to stab him from behind. Danielle checks on her husband. Thanks to the bulletproof vest, he's still alive. When Danielle turns around, she finds that Rutledge is gone. She then approaches Joanna to reveal that she knew she hid the crypto wallet when it fell earlier and is disappointed that she had to betray her country. Joanna explains that she had worked her entire life to be in her position as the US president, only for Danielle to take away her dreams. Danielle slaps her to take the wallet from her, reminding her that she was elected as the president. Rutledge finds Serena and captures her, taking her as a hostage as he boards a helicopter for his departure. He is about to go airborne when Danielle shows up with a gun pointed at him. Rutledge laughs maniacally, thinking he's won, until Danielle shows him the crypto wallet. Realizing he's been cornered, he points his gun at her daughter and offers to trade the girl for the crypto wallet. He makes her drop her gun, so she throws the crypto at him. As he runs to reach for it, the wallet falls under the mountain. Frustrated, he picks up his gun and starts to shoot at the helicopter. Since she can't pilot the helicopter, they end up crashing at the side of the ridge. Rutledge manages to grab the president, and as they both fight, they end up almost falling down the tall ridge. Serena quickly unties herself to help her mom, but her kick doesn't do any damage to Rutledge, who pulls out his gun and is about to shoot the little girl. Danielle has to drag him down with her, and they both fall. For a moment Serena thinks her mom is gone, only to look out and find her hanging onto the edge of the ridge. Serena helps her mother climb back up, but the helicopter is about to lose its grip and fall into the mountains, so the special team quickly rushes to help by wrapping a rope around the chopper, and with all their strength, including that of the world leaders, they are able to pull the chopper back to safety. Now that they are safe, the president goes ahead with her plans for the G20 summit, while Joanna goes to prison for her role as a terrorist accomplice against the US president. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video and would love to see more from this channel, please like and subscribe.